Hi everyone. Okay, so we're going to get started here. We have a few speeches from some very special guests. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Katya. I am Trevor's campaign manager. Is this a good volume?
Yes.
Yeah? Perfect? Great. Awesome. So Trevor didn't ask me to say anything here, but I just wanted to say that he has just been working so hard. I've watched him every day. He is pouring his whole heart into this because it's something that he really believes in. And even though I don't have any background in public policy by any means, over the last almost 2 years, I have learned so much from him, and I am just so proud of him. Okay, so to start off, I would like to introduce Michele Sealey. Michele is a longtime community contributor and engager. She is active in both the community and on social media. She's a committed yet cheerful council watcher, and she takes a keen interest in civic matters. She is also the current host of Amazing Places podcast. So thank you so much, Michele.
Woo! Thank you very much, Katya. I acknowledge that we are on the traditional ancestral lands of the Saanich people, bordering on the lands of Beckwith people. And it's my pleasure here today to introduce Rebecca Mersereau, an outgoing Saanich councillor and CRD director. She was first elected in the 2018 election, and for Rebecca it was third time's the charm, as she topped the polls with 18,416 votes. Well done. Rebecca is a scientist, accomplished water resource management consultant, and a registered professional biologist. Her most recent academic achievement was earning her master's in public admin at UVic. Her time on council and the CRD has included many accomplishments, and her colleagues view her as a working councillor, attending to her readings, thoughtful analysis, which I have told her many times, and collegial approach to governance. Like Trevor, she shares a passion for biking and camping, and being a dog owner, and being a policy wonk. I knew there was a reason I like these two. Rebecca has been an inspiration to many, both inside and outside politics, and excuse me, which is why we begrudgingly wish her well as she prepares to move back to New Brunswick. So sad. But now I'm thrilled to welcome Rebecca Mersereau.
Thank you, Michele. That all came as a surprise. I thought you were going to be talking about Trevor. That was very kind of you. Thank you. I have an analog version of some notes up here. We'll see how they do with the wind. How's the sound? Is that loud enough for everyone? Really great to see some familiar faces here, and some people who, for me, have been really instrumental over the years in helping me successfully get elected to council. So that's really promising sign, Trevor, if there is one. I think you have a lot of great people here. As Michele mentioned, last week I announced I wouldn't be running in this upcoming election for personal reasons. And really that was such a difficult decision for me to come to, and I came to it pretty reluctantly, actually. And really the reason for that is because there's just a tremendous amount of opportunity that comes with the role of being an elected official in Saanich and the CRD as well. It's not only a huge opportunity, I think, in Saanich we have so much going for us. It is both circumstantial because of some of the people around the table, and I do want to point out Councillor Zach DeVries here today as well, who I think has been really instrumental in working towards some of that change. It's also, we have the most highly educated public there is in Canada, as I understand it, and really passionate community members about the community. And so I think the opportunities are just tremendous for us. We're also lucky that we're not in the radar of Adam Sterling and crew. So there is so much opportunity to really be a leader and do a lot of great progressive things. What also is sort of the flip side of that opportunity is the huge responsibility that comes with it. And I'm really grateful to have a chance to be here today and introduce someone who I think is so capable of stepping into those roles and taking on that huge amount of responsibility, and for stepping in and carrying forward a lot of the great momentum that I think we've established over the last term, and someone who I think has the intellect and the motivation to actually take on some of our sticky challenges that we haven't made progress yet on in Saanich. So it's a real tremendous honor to do this. Trevor and I go back to, I think, 2014, when I first stepped forward for Saanich Council. And, you know, we have, as Michele pointed out, we have a lot in common. We're also the same exact age, as I understand it. And, you know, I think we have what some might characterize as maybe annoying attention to detail at times. And I know we also share a really deep concern for the environment and awareness of climate change and what's coming with it. And I would be remiss if I didn't also mention that we both share a huge admiration for former Saanich councillor Vic Thurman, who I think for both of us really stands out as a tremendous example of a principled leader who is ahead of his times in many respects. I want to talk to you a little bit about why I think Trevor is the right person to step into Saanich Council at this particular point in time. He is infinitely collegial and kind. And, you know, while that's not only a nice thing to experience when you're a member of the public, I think it's a critical asset to bring to the council table. There are often difficult dynamics in making difficult decisions, and having the respect and goodwill of those around you is really important to that. It's also, I've learned, really important at the CRD, where there's inevitably interesting personalities in the room, and you need to figure out a way to work together to achieve things for the betterment of the region. And I think those traits will really serve Trevor well. Something that is so underappreciated in politics generally, I think, is an ability to synthesize information, to receive it openly, and to essentially do the kind of policy making that I know Trevor has acquired experience with throughout his career and his academic background. And that's something that I think is going to serve him extremely well in these roles. The other thing that needs mention is he's a father of young children, although I can't believe how big they're getting, having observed that over the years. But this is really a missing voice at the council table. I've tried as best I can to think of that perspective while I'm there, since many of my friends and companions are parents of young children. But until you have someone at the table with that direct experience, you're really missing that really important priority for our community. And what comes with it is really a long-term view for decisions. So I think that's a really important asset that you bring, as well as that direct experience. Before closing, I want to share that, you know, I think it's often the case that some of the best candidates have the most difficult time campaigning. And this is not a statement on the quality of your campaign. Don't interpret it that way. Campaigning inherently requires a lot of self-promotion. It's very awkward, I think, sometimes for people who really their main passion driving them is doing the best thing for the community and making sure that the long-term interests of the public are really what's driving their decisions. And so I really encourage you here today to think about how you can support Trevor's campaign, whether that's financially. Certainly campaigns these days require a lot of financing to be successful, unfortunately. But also with your time. Time is probably as valuable an asset in campaigns as the money to purchase the signs and the brochures that go along with it. So please think about whether you can contribute to the campaign and whether you're in a position to ask others, because that isn't always something that's easy for the candidate themselves to do. Thank you for being here. I know from past experience, this means a lot to Trevor to see who's here and shows up to support the campaign. And I really am thrilled to welcome Trevor up, who I think is just an absolutely tremendous candidate for us at Saanich and the CRD.
Okay, give me a minute. Thanks, Rebecca. Okay, I'm going to try my best here. Hi, everyone. I'm Trevor Barry, and I'm running for Saanich Council and the CRD. I want to start off by saying thank you. And there are some people, all of you people who came to show your support. Thank you so much. I wouldn't have been able to put today together without some very important people. And I just want to say thank you to Katya. Where are you? There you are. You're the best partner in crime I could have ever asked for, and the best campaign manager I have ever had. Thank you, Katya. Oh, I'm going to need help in a second, actually. Michele. You amazing person, you, Michele. I love how our paths have kept crossing in Saanich life over the last decade, sort of serendipitously. I've become a big fan of yours, and it's an honor to have your support. To show my thanks, I have a little thank you gift for you. I guess Katya will present it. So this is a very limited edition Trevor for Saanich coffee mug. I hope you like it. I feel like it would go very well on your desk with some hot Java close to your microphone to keep you going when you do your amazing work in the community. So I hope you like that. Yeah. And Rebecca, you are such an inspiration. I don't even know how to talk right now because I'm too busy re-listening to what you just said. You have always been such a role model to me. As long as I've been voting in Saanich, I've been voting for Rebecca Mersereau. And I'm saddened that I won't get to do that this time around. But I do wish you all the best on the next chapter of your journey. And I wanted to show a little token of appreciation. Maybe Katya can help me out. So even though, so this is for you and Piper and Zoltan. So no, even though you're leaving from one side of the country and going to the other, you should never be without an approved potato. So for me and the kids, this is a very Canadian, pan-Canadian approved potato. Thank you, Rebecca Mersereau.
Very inside joke.
Okay, folks, thanks for gathering here on the lands of the Lekwungen and Saanich peoples. After all, this place name, Saanich, comes from the Senchothan word, Saanich. Oh, I'm too loud, apparently. Okay, yeah, I'll step back. From the Senchothan word Saanich, for its people, the emerging people. So, as I have been taught to do, I'll ask you if you're interested in joining me to raise your hands, and this is a way of saying thanks. Height squat. Thanks for gathering here at my favorite Saanich Park. In fact, this is probably my favorite place in Saanich. We are so blessed to have such wonderful parks in this municipality, and we need to protect them and to cherish them for generations to come. Over the past 15 years since I've arrived on these shores from the mainland, I've had 5 different Saanich addresses, 3 of them in the past 3 years through some various changes in my life. And when I've been moving, I've always chosen to stay right here in North Quadra in order to stay dedicated to my community. My decades serving on the executive and then as president of the North Quadra Community Association, I've been building up our memberships and running events. And throughout all of this, it has only cemented in my mind and demonstrated to me that there's a shared feeling that I'm not alone in believing that we choose to raise our families here because Saanich is special. Yeah, Saanich is special. Saanich is a safe, friendly, rural and suburban community along rapidly growing urban corridors and beyond. The potential for family life here is tremendous, and this potential moves me to help shape its future, and it forms my view on policies. Like many communities in BC, we are currently navigating a number of different crises. One of the more pressing issues that we face right now is an affordability crisis. There's also a health crisis and a climate crisis, of course. If we want our children to be able to continue to choose Saanich as their home, we must ensure more than just the availability of affordable housing in the district. We must ensure true affordability, which means access to services such as mobility options, convenient amenities nearby, and opportunities for work, study, and play. We are doing ourselves a disservice in the long term when housing supply doesn't take into consideration location and the right sizing of density. Sprawl is not affordable. Sprawl is not healthy. And sprawl is not climate friendly. When I'm elected, I will support the removal of costs, barriers, and red tape for developments that face our urban corridors, close to rapid transit, and walking distance to small businesses and other employment centers. I believe we can both preserve the natural and suburban character of our established neighborhoods while simultaneously growing our population and economic activity responsibly along these corridors and denser areas inherently attractive to a younger generation. But Saanich will only reach its potential with active, engaged citizens as its stewards. And we need to elect councillors who bring perspectives and lived experiences of underrepresented Saanich residents, including young family life, its joys and its struggles. We need to bring that to the table, because right now it's missing. As ever, it is my children that ultimately inspire me to run for office. So Nessie and Nathaniel, wherever you are, I'm doing this for you guys. Okay? If we adults intend to leave our children with a Saanich that they deserve, a Saanich that is affordable, safe, that's environmentally and economically sustainable, where families can grow, careers can flourish, and community can be strong, then we must start working toward that goal today. The Saanich Council that I hope for is an entire council that is capable of open, honest-to-goodness discussion, and one that is able to be transparent when discussing the pros and cons and trade-offs that often come with making decisions. I will bring some experience, expertise, and integrity to council chambers. I have spent a decade serving on my community association, 15 years as a public policy analyst and economic advisor to the province of BC, including leading stakeholder engagements for the Climate Leadership Plan and the Clean BC Plan. I studied transportation design, land use planning, and sustainable urban development at the SFU City academic program under influential urbanists including Gordon Price and Todd Littman. I've been appointed by 2 Saanich mayors onto citizen advisory committees, twice each to active transportation and Parks, Trails, and Recreation, and long-term to the Uptown Douglas Corridor Plan, which is our 30-year vision for the core of Saanich. I've also studied GHG accounting. I've been a manager of on-campus housing, student housing for 3 years. I grew up in family businesses and have seen the struggles and successes there, including managing and dissolving a corporation. I've chaired and held other executive roles on society boards. And unlike any of my fellow non-incumbent candidates, I can say that I've attended nearly every single Monday night meeting for the last 4 years. Thank you. There's a few others who usually come out to those meetings. I've also been a renter in Saanich and homeowner, a cyclist and a driver, electric and standard in both cases, a dog owner, as has been said, a parks and recreation user, and a frustrated parent just trying to register my kid for swim lessons. I actually have an idea about that, and we can talk about that later if you like. I've also been told that maybe, perhaps, possibly, I am too verbose. That means I use lots of words and add in extra details and go off on tangents, you know, like that one time when I was trying to make that point. And for those who know me well, I'm sure you have been engaged with me on more than one occasion in extended conversation, getting deep, deep, deep into the weeds. While I can always improve, streamlining, and simplifying, at the end of the day, I embody and I encourage intellectual honesty and open dialogue. I wouldn't be here now if I didn't wholeheartedly believe that new ideas and fresh perspectives are essential for a healthy, forward-thinking government. We need to highlight various voices in order to faithfully represent the values of a community with an ever-evolving demographic, especially in this post-COVID world. While it's true that I have plenty of expertise, this is only useful if I'm listening to your concerns and using my expertise as a tool to better serve you. On that note, I just want to mention that I have taken 3 months leave without pay away from work in order to focus on engaging voters and really getting to understand them even better. Over the coming weeks, I will be campaigning harder than ever before. I will be sharing, as always, updates on my website and on my social media. I'm really quite proud of my website. It's interactive and it encourages communication. For example, you can schedule a meeting with me there. You can sign up for email and text updates. You can even sign in to the website to leave comments, to create your own Trevor meet and greets, or to sign up to volunteer at different canvassing opportunities, like door knocking, sign waves, and attending festivals, and even working behind the scenes. Trevor4Saanich.ca. Say that with me. Trevor4Saanich.ca. Thank you. You can also go there to donate. One thing I admit to you that's been the hardest thing in political life so far has been learning to feel comfortable asking for money. That said, practice makes perfect. So I am asking for your support at the ballot box, as a volunteer, as an influencer in your neighborhoods and communities, or with a donation. You can donate by check. You can donate online. If you have questions, you can speak to Katya, or my mom's over there next to the donation jar that we have set up today. You know, folks, campaigns do cost money, and advertising costs money. Signs cost money. Mind you, they're free for you if you want to take one home and put it on your lawn. And delicious food from the Royal Tandoor just up the street on Quadra near Mackenzie. Delicious food also costs money. And so every donation counts, and together they really do make a big difference. My approach to voter engagement this summer has been about bringing community members together over food, breaking bread, and being real with each other, discussing issues and ideas and concerns. Whether that's last weekend at my young family's barbecue at Horner Park, or with face painting and coloring books. We have more coloring books, by the way. Or those jazzy rockin' music concerts right here at Beckwith earlier this summer. Or I have another event coming up on September 23rd. It's a fundraising soiree at the UVic Faculty Club. There will be food, of course, live music, a quiz show, and a photo booth. And we are selling tickets for this event starting today. So please come and check that out. We would love to see you there. I guess what I need to say now is to close things up. Thank you again so much for coming out. George for serving some food, and Kirk for filling in to help get us the food here today. Thanks, you guys. Yeah, please, let's thank the people who made sure we got something to eat. Everyone else who came out to show their support, it means so much to me. To all my existing donors and volunteers so far, thank you so much for being there with me along this incredible journey. There's other candidates running for council who are here today too. I want to thank you all for stepping up and participating in democracy and serving the public. Again, to Katya, my mom, my kids, their mom, to Jackie, and to Peter and Bibi who aren't here, to Rob and Haji for being great mentors to me over the years, and I hope you guys are starting to feel better soon. To Michele and to Rebecca, and the list grows and grows on and on. I see so many people out there. Thank you so very, very much. Kudos, okay, as we climb this incredible mountain and reach the summit together. Let's do this. Thank you very much.
And just really quickly, if you are a resident of Saanich, you can help nominate Trevor for council. He needs 100 signatures and information. It's in the pink binder there, right on the table. Thanks very much, everyone, for coming out.